had my own encounter with a David. His name was Brian Rooney. And this was back when I was like 16, 17 years old in Winooski, Vermont. And a POKEMANE'S situation with David, I was sympathizing with her because of what I went through knowing Brian Rooney, who later went on to murder Michelle Quinn Gardner, a UVM student. This was back in the mid-2000s. She was downtown Burlington and she needed to use someone's phone. She asked to use Brian Rooney's phone. Then she disappeared and her body was found, I believe, in the gorge. Everybody was looking for her. Everybody was worried. I never, ever, ever in a million years would have thought the person that I knew, Brian Rooney, would be a murderer, would do something like that. I always kind of got these vibes from him, like pervy, creeper. But the problem was that we were all hanging out in this house in Winooski, and it was an awesome house. Like, the people that coming in and out, it was safe, it was fun, it was like everything you can imagine in the 2000s, you know, where you're just like playing video games, people are skateboarding. There was a guy that owned a bird, and the bird would like hang out on people's shoulders and be like, "Hey bird, what's up?" Birds don't normally act like that. I wish I could remember the name of the guy with the bird, but honestly, the only name that I remember is Brian Rooney, and that's because of what happened later. But this house, like, the way that I knew these people was through my ex-husband. At the time, he was my boyfriend, and he was acquaintances with all these people. I think he worked with someone, and then we all just became friends. I felt totally safe in this house. It never occurred to me that I was in any sort of danger. Even though, like I said, he would make me uneasy. But the reason why he would make me uneasy is just he would constantly hit on me. And I was, you know, like 17. He was in his late 20s, early 20s. I don't even know. I knew he was older than me, and I also knew that he had a girlfriend. And I thought it was really weird that he was always hitting on me. I didn't like it either. I didn't know anybody. I've been hit on, but never like that. Never that persistence, just constant. And everybody told me to laugh it off. It was harmless. That's what I kept hearing. He'd hit on me in front of my boyfriend. He'd hit on me in front of his girlfriend. I just thought he was like kind of a disrespectful asshole. I also thought he was just pretty simple, not like the smartest guy, you know? And everybody told me when I told him, I don't like it when he hits on me. Why would he do that in front of my boyfriend? Why would he do that in front of his girlfriend? Everybody said he's harmless. One of the guys said, you know, I think he said, I went to school with him. He's always been like this. Don't worry. He's harmless. He's harmless. He's harmless. That's all I ever heard. He's harmless. Brian Rooney's harmless. Even though, like, deep down, I knew something was weird about him. You don't act like that when you're a normal person, you know? Like, you know, something wrong with him. Maybe he was stupid. I guess that's why I went to, like, he was not very bright. He was just stupid. Just a stupid boy, you know? But I never would have ever thought he was capable of murder. I was alone with this man. I don't know. I'm just going to throw a number out here. Like, I don't know, 17 times. It might have even been more than that. We drove to the grocery store together a few times. We went to the liquor store together in his red SUV. We went to the liquor store in Winooski numerous times. I remember this. I'd wait for him because I wasn't old enough to get any booze, you know, being 17. I didn't get any booze. I'd wait in the car for him. And sometimes when we would go to the store, I think he'd pick up his girlfriend from work, and she would be in the back seat and he'd be in the front seat. And sometimes he would still like say things that were inappropriate when I'm in the front seat and his girlfriend's right there, and did not like that dynamic. And I can't imagine that she liked it either. So I was alone in the car with him numerous times, driving away with nobody around. I was in the house playing my PS2. I was playing Lunar 2. I was playing like the JRPGs, Japanese role-playing games. And I remember I was just so immersed in the story. You know, people would just come in and out of the house, and you wouldn't even really notice. You know, Brian would come in and out numerous times when nobody was around. He'd just be like, "Hey, what you playing? What you playing today?" And I'd tell him. He'd be like, "Oh, well, you really like that game, huh? You've been playing that for a while." I don't know, whatever. I can't remember the actual conversations, but it was like that, you know. He didn't hit on me like when I was playing the game, or if he did, I didn't even notice it because I was just so engrossed in the story. I happen to really like playing the role-playing games like that. I was alone with him so many times. This is the type of person that later on you find out, when I knew him, that he was like putting chemicals on paper towels and knocking girls out and sexually assaulting them, or SAing them. YouTube, since you don't like that, he R'd them. I knew him then. I knew him. He's harmless. He's harmless. He's harmless. Oh, don't worry. He's harmless. Nobody knew what he was really doing. I definitely didn't know. He made me uneasy, but I didn't feel unsafe around him. Just like, I don't like him hitting on me, you know? And like I said, I talked to my boyfriend about it. I talked to his friends about it. I never talked to his girlfriend about it, because do you want to be the girl that he hits on in front of the girlfriend and then talk to the girlfriend about how he hits on you, or check and see if she's being abused or what's going on there, or why does he do that? Has he always done that? How do you deal with a boyfriend that's like that? Why would you? But I was 17, and I felt like it wasn't my place to talk to her about her boyfriend. I wish that I had. And I think I'm dealing with the fear of knowing this person. And I've only thought about him a few times. When he was arrested, when he was a suspect, and his face was on the news, and I saw his face, it looked just like his face when I knew him. I mean, this was a couple years after we had all stopped hanging out, because I moved to Maryland, and we all just kind of, just went our separate ways or whatever. So a couple years later, boom, his face is on the news. He's a murder suspect for the girl that we were all like wondering what happened to her. And I'm trying to give you like my reaction to it, but it was like everything just stopped for a second, and I could see he did it in his eyes, and I saw it for the first time, really, what he was capable of. Now, he was never stupid. He just wanted you to think he was stupid. That man was calculated. He was a predator. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he was looking for victims. And I could have been one of those victims, I guess. But I feel like nothing happened to me, My boyfriend probably made it so that nothing would happen to me. He wasn't going to try that on me. I don't know. Maybe it was because I was 17. He didn't chloroform me. He didn't kill me and throw me in the gorge. So the fact that I'm scared of like what happened to me in my past, that I knew this person, I was like kind of friends with this person, I trusted this person enough to be alone with him, am I allowed to feel that anxiety, that fear of what could have been when he literally murdered that girl? I don't want to, and did all these other things to these other girls. I should consider myself the lucky one, right? Why am I feeling this guilt and this shame and this fear when he didn't do anything to me? Because I didn't say anything? Because I didn't stop him? Because I didn't know? You should know. Sometimes you do know, deep down. Something is off with this person. And if you feel that inside here or in your gut, listen to it, because it's probably right. And these people that seem so harmless are anything but, and are capable of the most horrible things. So I'm dealing with these feelings, and I had no idea that had been causing me to have the nightmares and causing me to feel so disconnected and confused and pushing my friends away. And it wasn't until I heard about Pokemane dealing with David that those feelings came to the forefront, and I realized that Brian Rooney was the shadows in my dream. Brian Rooney was a person I was screaming about in this empty house, that he was going to kill us all. It was like a horror movie. I can't give you the details, because with dreams, the more you try to think about them, the more they go and they fade away. But now that I had a face, it didn't really help, I mean, because I'm just like, I know that he was the guy that was killing me in my dreams, and I can't tell you exactly how. I don't know if he stabbed me. I don't know if he shot me. I don't know if he strangled me. All I know is I would wake up right when he was killing me, just, oh my God, thank God I'm alive.